Hello, I
Yep,
am Dale from Dale's Rock Interviews, and I am joined by the legend Roman Jugg. How are you?
I'm very well. I don't know about the legend,
Well,
but I'm very well.
you are a very well-known accordion player in Dirty Water,
Yep, true, true,
as
true.
well as singer, songwriter, guitarist, keyboarder, and player from bands like the Roman Jug Band for your solo work. Big Beat presents the Phantom Chords, Nas Nomad, The Nightmares, and of course the Damned. So very colourful career.
Yeah, you could say that. You could say that. I think the most colourful was probably, in my experience, the Damned. But I think it was the other characters around that made that far more colourful, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Um, were you just a figure in the background watching the chaos unfold, or were you part of the chaos?
um, a lot of people within that band would probably say I was the cause of it. But it was it was a lovely chaos, if you know what I mean.
Yeah,
When it was good, it was great. When it was bad, it was horrible. But it was never a dull moment, you know.
yeah.
When you got characters like Captain Sensible and Rat Scabies and Dave Vane around you, you know it ain't gonna be a normal day. You know what I
No.
mean?
Well, this is where um, I come in and you're thinking, oh my God, who is this person interviewing me? Because I know absolutely nothing about the Damned because, right, I liked punk music, I like rock music, I like heavy metal music. My listening of the Damned was the more mainstream stuff, which didn't interest me because I weren't into mainstream. I was a bit too young to discover your punk, and I was at the right time for the mainstream. So when people are saying, "Oh, they're a big fan of the Damned" and things like that, and I'm thinking, "But you're into punk music. Why are you a big fan of the Damned? You're into my sort of music. I don't understand why you'd be into such a mainstream band." And it's only recently where people have said, listen to the early stuff, listen to the early stuff. I've gone back, listened to the early stuff, and I was like, I've totally missed out. And I feel like I've totally missed out of the whole damned revolution.
Well, the thing about the Diamond, I mean, um, I was sort of obviously I'm older than you,
Yeah,
but when I first heard New Rose, I'd never heard anything like that before in my life,
yeah,
and and I've said this before, I probably haven't heard anything since. It really blew me away. But I think what Damned have and always had was they moved on.
yeah.
They they didn't stay in one spot, and I mean a lot of people kind of you know, one minute they're here, next minute they're there, and some people might not like where they went there, but then other people would latch onto it. And like your good surf, you become aware of it somewhere down the line, but then you've got this fantastic ability to be able to look back on what was done before, and
Yeah.
then obviously look forward. Like, I like the shirt, by the way.
Oh, my 1980s dinosaur shirt. I thought that'd be appropriate.
No, it's good. But,
Yeah,
and so, and I think they're still evolving. Um, Whether or not that's got to do with the fact that there have been so many kind of, revolving members or whatever, if you like. But the
yeah,
core of the band has always been the same. I mean, when you can hear Dave's voice singing any damn song, whether it's New Rose or whether it's Grimmy Fiendish, it's a damn because you've got that voice, you know. And
yeah,
and I think that the longevity really happened because we didn't want to stand in one place. We wanted to move on. We wanted to experiment. And some people, you know, this the phantasmagoria period. I mean, I can totally understand that because personally, I think the records were overproduced, and we were kind of being channeled by the record company MCA to a certain extent into something that really wasn't the Damned. But the Damned
Yeah,
actually live was always the Damned, if you know what I
yeah,
mean.
yeah.
Um, and long may they continue. And please carry on playing my songs so I get a bit of PRS.
Well, again, because of my age, I only remember Captain Sensible with Happy Talky Talky, Happy Talk. And when people say he's a punk singer from The Damned, I got this confusion in my head. How can him doing this song be a punk singer? And I'm listening back to the music that they did with him, and it's pretty impressive. It's not what I expected at all.
Well, the thing about Captain, I mean, great. He's a brilliant musician. He's got a great musical brain. He's a terrific guitarist. Um, and I think that was just like an experiment that he did with the Happy Talk thing because he started getting into synthesizers and stuff like that, which a lot of
Yeah,
people did get into in the 80s. Um, I don't think that he really expected to have as much success with the Happy Talk thing. And in a way, I'm glad that, and I don't want him to take this the wrong way, but I'm glad the interest in what he was doing kind of waned, which encouraged him to go back into the fold and do what
yeah,
he's really good at, which is being on stage, playing a very loud guitar, and not appearing on kids' shows singing happy talk. I mean, some of his solo stuff is fantastic. Glad It All Over. There's some great songs on his solo album, but Captain belongs on the fretboard.
yeah,
He
yeah,
doesn't belong behind a sequencer with the wrong producers making the wrong music. You
yeah,
know, that's what I just think. But at the time, I thought, well, good luck to him. I mean, I certainly didn't buy a copy of Happy Talk. I bought his album, um,
yeah,
but it was, and then there was another a case of the evolution of the Damned. Captain had too many commitments for his solo stuff, which he obviously felt compelled to pursue, which took up all of his time. So he left the Damned,
yeah,
and then it was almost like a rebirth. We could still play New Roads, we could still play Smash It Up, we could still play Just Can't Be Happy Today. But then we went down the road, and the result was the songs that were on Phantasmagoria. Like I
yeah,
said, I I I, I still can't play Phantasmagoria because I was never happy with the way it sounded. Um,
yeah,
and I fought tooth and nail against some of the decisions that were being made in the studio. Um, Fell on deaf ears, and but I think it was a case of it was the first major record deal Damned have ever had, and certain senior members of the group at that point told me in no uncertain terms to stop rocking the boat.
right.
Um, but the thing is, and I've said this to any band, whether I produce them or whether if they be signed to a record company, always remember one thing: when you've made a record and it's there, it's stamped, it's on the vinyl or CD or whatever, you have to live with it for the rest of your life.
Yeah,
And when it's your song and it hasn't quite come out as you envisaged it, it's disappointing. And that's why I don't play Phantasmagoria. I play
yeah,
Phantasmagoria songs live, but they sound more like I envisaged them, you know.
yeah. I
So
get that.
it's important. It's important to be, whether you sell 60 million albums or you sell six singles, if you're happy with your product, it's never a problem. It's not a monkey on your shoulder for the rest of your life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Yeah,
How many songs did you write on Phantasmagoria?
most of them.
Most of them.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't write it myself, it was collaboration between me and Dave, and
Yeah,
usually that collaboration was with Dave. He'd help with the lyrics because at that time he wasn't very proficient on any instrument, and I don't think he's gone much further to be honest. But I don't know. Perhaps he's been taking lessons on his piano or something. I don't know. But
yeah,
Dave always came up with good ideas, you know, um, and even Ratworks said. And then when you got it's like adding sugar to a cup of tea. You know, you've got the idea, but it just needs a bit extra. And
yeah,
whether or not you add the hot water or the sugar depends on the song and how far it's gone down the line. You know what I mean?
yeah. I get
Uh,
that. It must have been frustrating for you to have wrote all that, and then you've got somebody telling you this is how it's got to be, and it's not how you envisaged it, how you want it to be. I can understand a clash of heads if you've got an outside source dictating to you how it's got to be done.
well, the thing is, it's so difficult. I mean, John Kelly produced Phantasmagoria, um, and there was definitely overtones from MCA. Like I said, they were trying to channel us into something. I mean, there's a plus and there's a minus side to having a really big deal. Um, you are to a certain extent dictated to, but there again you've got the backing, you have the push, you have the
Yeah,
publicity and all that. You know, you have the videos being made and or not. In one case with Eloise, um, but at the end of the day, a record is to be heard, right? I
yeah,
love the cover of Phantasmagoria. I love the way it was packaged. I love the look of it. I love it.
yeah,
But when I put that record onto a turntable, I kind of go, no, you know. And it's something that has frustrated me for the last 40 years, you know.
wow,
Um, and uh, and then going on to the Anything album, uh, you had three different producers. You had John Kelly, you had some Irish guy, I can't even remember his name now, and then and somebody else came in, and it was sent off here to be mixed, and those were sent off there to be mixed. And let's face it, the core of that album was just cobbled together in the studio. So that's why it's so disjointed and sounds
yeah,
unfinished, and you know. Uh, but we were sent in to do that album. We weren't ready. We'd been touring intensively across the globe, you know, on the success of Phantasmagoria and Eloise. And then, of course, the powers that be, we want new product, you know, and it's just like, yeah, what? We've been on the road for like a year and a half, 2 years. And where do you know, it's, you can't just churn them out, you know what I mean?
yeah,
You can't
yeah,
just churn them out. You know?
yeah.
I think if they get in 6 months, 8 months, and let us see a bit more of our families as opposed to each other every day.
Yeah,
You know, I think it would have the album would be far better, far
yeah.
better.
I get
Yeah.
that. I've got a friend who's in a band which is heavily influenced by your music, and he's called Peter Tate, and it's from a Bolton band called The Abandoners. And he's actually given me a question with him being such a big fan. He said, "What inspired the change from direct punk into gothic rock on Phantasmagoria, as it was quite a huge shift?"
Um, well, I can answer that because I think it happened well before that on the Black album.
Yeah,
I think the Black album, not just saying because you know the title, you know, a whole side curtain call, you know, 17 minutes, 13th floor vendetta. It's already starting to get a little bit Danger Man and the Saints, and these little James Bondy things coming in there already, and that's before I joined. But what really cemented it with Phantasmagoria, I think, was the fact that the Captain wasn't there anymore.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to sound detrimental to Captain, at least not as an artist, not as an artist on the stage, but there was a lot of clowning around done by Captain at live shows, and sometimes I got the impression that like Dave Anian was not so much embarrassed, but he was like, "When's he going to stop so I can start performing again?"
Yeah.
So when Captain had left, the focus was on Dave Anian, yeah,
Yeah.
which was now Dave Anian, the black hair, the makeup, it was a natural kind of way we kind of got channeled into that because we were a band and we needed to be united. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
And when you're singing about whether it be smashing it up or Sanctum Sanctorum, or something like that, there's no point having somebody there who starts mouthing off about Princess Di and blah blah blah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that, which don't get me wrong, a lot of punters you probably used to come to the dance just to hear Captain either rant or get naked or whatever. But it wasn't needed. I don't think
Yeah.
it wasn't needed once he left. I mean, there was no way when I switched the guitar that I would start going up and and the the age old chant, sensible, all that. I mean, it was fun. It was fun but once that element had been extinguished,
Yeah.
there was no need for that, And I don't think I don't think it was a case of we got a hell of a lot more serious, but it certainly came across that we were more serious, you know.
Yeah. I get that. I've got to ask about Street of Dreams. There's saxophone in it. There's a wonderful guitar solo, which I'm assuming is from you. Not solo, but and then flamenco guitar.
Right.
Who does the saxophone? Who does the flamenco?
The saxophonist was Kim Wilde's boyfriend, I think. Do you remember Kim Wilde?
Yeah, I like Kim Wilde.
Tears in
I've
America.
seen her. Yeah,
Yeah.
I've seen her recently in concert. She's
Um,
great.
I can't remember his name, but I'll let you into a secret. The flamenco guitar solo is not guitar.
Okay,
It's a Fairlight sample,
right.
and it's played on keys. There's
Oh,
no way
oh. So you cheated.
in a,
That's terrible.
in there's no way in a couple of centuries that I could pull off that. Believe me. But the version that we do now with my band,
Yeah,
I actually play a little bit. The solo does sound a bit more flamenco,
right.
but that was actually then. I can't even remember his name. Andy, I think Andy's his name was. You used to look like Magnum. I used to call him Magnum. And but you see, this was the problem in the 80s. You get all this technology, all these like they bring in keyboards that does this and does that. But I remember at one point he suggested doing a kind of a heavier guitar solo on the keyboard. And when I heard it, I said, "That sounds like Orville and Keith Harris. No way. I'm going to plug this lead into this amp. I'm going to turn it up loud, and I'm going to play it." You know, but it's everyone kind of experimented in the 80s. You just get that kind of gated reverb snare, and
Yeah,
drum machines, and the machines were kind of taking over. And then I think they ran their course. I mean, there's some great electronic bands. I mean, if you take Kraftwerk or early Ultravox, fantastic. But when you try to mix that with a rock band,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. A rock band, stay. You stay in your yard there,
Yeah,
and
exactly.
you electro guys just do not intrude.
So, how did you actually get into the jam? I mean, you're a young lad from Caerphilly at the time. Actually, I'm going to Caerphilly tomorrow for Steelhouse Festival for the weekend. So I'm
All
going to
right.
be enjoying the delights of South Wales. I've got a lot of relatives who live in Cardiff, so I'm half Welsh myself. Um, so, so you were a young lad from Caerphilly. How did you end up in a band like The Damned?
Right. Just before I tell you that, do you know what else Caerphilly is famous for?
Jeez,
Tommy Cooper.
Tommy Cooper. I didn't know he was from Caerphilly.
He was from Caerphilly.
Ah, just
Believe it
like
or
that.
not. Just like that, yeah.
Yeah, just like
Um,
that. Because I
but
know Burley
basically,
Chassis. Burley Chassis is from Splot, which is where my mum's from in Cardiff.
Tiger Bay.
Yeah, that's the one.
Like, it's all changed. Like, it's really changed now, Cardiff,
Yes, I
for the
know.
better. For the better. Um, well, basically, my first instrument was a piano accordion
Yeah,
because my dad played one, which I think helped me uh, with a guitar because obviously you're doing two different things with your hands, right? Um, my early influences were my older brother Joe because he played me things like the Velvet Underground when I was very very young.
oh yeah.
Um, I was lucky enough to be born and remember. Well, the first thing that really made my ears prick up was the last time by the Rolling Stones. But I was lucky, 60s, the glam era of the early 70s, like
Yeah.
with Sweet, David Bowie, T Rex, Slade, blah, 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 name, and then the punk explosion. But I digress. You asked me, how did I get into the Damned? Well, I met Paul Gray at a hot gossip gig. Now,
Hot
hot gossip
gossip.
were,
Hot
yeah,
gossip. Good God.
hot, hot gossip. So not only does it prove that we were both drawn to the same kind of thing, but it just probably proved that we are a couple of dirty old sods, right? Uh, uh, and we were actually standing next to each other and got chatting. And then when he heard I was a guitarist, he said, "Oh, listen," because at that point he had a Welsh girlfriend and he was renting a cottage just outside Cardiff. He said, "Well, we are due, the band is due to do another album very shortly, and I've got some demos, but I'm not a very good guitar player. Why don't you come down to the cottage and put some guitar on these things?"
Yeah.
So, of course, I agreed. Um, during one of those sessions, we actually got Generals together, which is on Strawberries. Um, and obviously, well, I play guitar, and through my accordion thing, I could play a little bit of keyboards as well. And it just came to pass that all of a sudden I got a call, and it was Rat, and he said, "Listen, um, we've got some dates coming up, and the keyboard player we're going to use, his mum won't let us let him go on tour with the Damned. How would you fancy it? Do you think you can handle it?"
Yeah.
To which, of course, I mean, this is like 3 years after I've did, New Rose, which I loved. I love this band. I loved everything up to that point. Mission Get Out, the Black Album, and
I bet he
that
never,
was it.
resented his mum for that decision.
I don't know. I don't know. Uh, I think probably yes, down the line. yeah,
down the
you might
line,
have done.
definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. It's just that I can't believe that his mum wouldn't let him go.
Well, because of their reputation, or it might have had the reputation of the support band might have put her off, and the support band on that tour was the Anti-Nowhere League.
Oh, yeah.
So, I mean,
A bunch of nice boys, yes.
uh, so what, you know? um, uh, yeah, and I honestly thought that I mean, I was thrilled to get that opportunity. But I thought it would just be those dates and that would be it.
Yeah,
Um, the next thing I know, we were in America, and I was playing keyboards for them. And then, of course, when we started doing Strawberries um, in the marvelous, legendary Rockfield Studios, uh, where if you're recording with the Damned, you get to know how to dodge food quite quickly. It's just lots of all this going on. And that was really, where I think it kind of cemented my position within the band, albeit just on keyboards. But
yeah,
I added quite a lot to the Strawberries album, and it was just a great experience working with Hugh Johns, um, and working with then Captain was still in the band, Paul Gray was still in the band, Rat and Dave, and it was great. But the actual Strawberries session ended rather abruptly. Um, it didn't end, but two of the members departed because Paul and Rat fell out over something, one of Paul's songs, I think, and so they went their separate ways. And then there was just me, Captain, and Dave finishing off the album.
yeah, yeah. And that were your first album, Strawberries.
Yeah, it wasn't the first recording I'd done with them. The first thing I actually wrote for the Dam was a B-side. There was the B-side of Generals, which
Okay.
was they needed a B-side, so I just knocked up a song called "This Guy's in the Studio," and it was just me, Dave, and Rat, I think, on that occasion.
Yeah.
So yeah, yeah, I don't think Paul was there either. But anyway, a long time ago.
Yeah, and that started you on quite an incredible journey, and I'm sure you could come up with 1,000 stories of being on tour and recording. Do you look back now and think, what a wild ride, or do you just lament on some of the pointless arguments that the band went through that didn't need to happen and probably halted a lot of the creative progress?
Time's a great healer, whether it's memories or love or whatever. I can only remember the good times now. Um, I've been asked several times to write a book
Yeah,
about my experiences in the Damned, and I've always um, rejected the idea on the grounds that if I was totally honest, I would be burning bridges, and I'm
yeah,
not prepared to do that. I'm not prepared to do that. Not this time. I think being in a band like the Damned or any big, is almost like having a relationship with someone.
yeah,
It's a collective relationship, and certain things just need to be, keep a lid on that because when you've got five individual or 4 or 5 individuals in a band, everyone is different. Everyone has their own moods. Everyone have their own characters, and you kind of, I think you got to kind of accept that. You know, I was no saint. I mean, I knew my shortcomings, and I'm sure everyone else did as well. So there's no point in uh, kind of doing a Daily Star, you know,
Expose.
expose on what
There
went
was
on.
time Captain Sensible dropped his keks on stage.
Yeah, but if I do write a book, it'll be about that thing,
Yeah.
if I can remember everything. Which
Well,
I got a pretty good memory, I think.
yeah.
Yeah,
Crusher,
nothing else.
who used to be on MTV and BBC and radio and all that lot. He went on tour with Black Sabbath and he did a book from that tour, and that is this thick, and that's just from that one tour. So yeah, it'll be a proper table weight, won't it? It's like paperweight.
But well, the other thing is, you forget things. I mean, I was playing again, and so you get people. Oh, I saw you back in 19 dots, dot splash or whatever, and then they remind me of something, and I'm like, yeah, I remember that, you know. And it's sort of like, I have to remember that for the book.
Yeah. I'm like that with kids' names, like they have to give me constant reminders who they are. Eh.
Yeah.
Back in 1984, you did an album with Nas Nomad and Nightmares. Give Daddy the Knife, Cindy. What a great title. I listened to it. Not my thing. It was like psychedelic rock and roll. And what was the thing behind all that?
Well, basically, we were all fans of the West Coast psychedelic stuff, right?
Right.
And the reason why how that came about was basically when Captain was still in the Damned, but he was off happy talking around Europe. Um, what do we do? You're waiting for him to come back. You can't. The Damned can't do anything.
Yeah.
And so Brad said, "Oh, let's do a gig and do it under another name and just do some covers." So me and Dave cobbled a set list together. I mean, we played stuff by the Monkeys and the 13th Floor Elevators and the Seeds and whatever. And we played in a place called the Fulham Greyhound, which is no longer
Right.
there, fortunately, in Fulham Palace Road in London. And we were billed of the Nightmares, right? And Roger Armstrong from Chiswick Records came to the gig. And afterwards he said, that was great. Why didn't you make an album? And I'll put it out. So we thought, well, you've got nothing else to do. Why don't we do it? Went to this little studio in Wapping, when Wapping was still like a bomb site after the Second World War, and recorded in about 3 days. But it kind of led to something because a journalist, do you remember Sounds magazine? Do you remember
Yes.
Sounds?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He worked for Sounds, and he said, "Oh, I'd like to do an article on Nas No Man Nightmares, but let's keep the Damned out of it. Let's make it a spoof, right?"
Right.
And so we did a photo session where myself and Dave were aged, right, to look like really old. Although looking at it now, it doesn't look that old. You can tell it's us. Uh, and we got the front cover of Sounds
Wow.
and a double spread in the middle. Total lies, spoof, kind of thing. And a lot of people for a long time didn't realize it was the Damned, until, oh, well, there's something a bit like Dave Ian singing, We kept it going. And then even after Captain left, we did live gigs as Nas No Man Nightmares. And it was fun, And
Yeah.
the reason why it was real fun is because there was no pressure. It wasn't. We didn't have to write the songs. We didn't have
Yeah.
the pressure of, oh, we need more material. It was just fun. It was
Yeah.
fun. Dave with a wig and all that, and being Nas singing American accents, although he does tend to sing in American accent most of the time anyway. But no, it was great fun. Great fun. I mean,
Yeah.
some of the gigs we did were, I think, legendary. Acid Days with Hawkwind and Doctor Medics.
Wow.
We did one of the early dates of the with the Hypnotics, you
Yeah.
know, when they were really in their early stages and stuff. So it was good fun. It was good fun. That,
Yeah.
so
Right.
that's how Nas Nomad came about, and I came up with the name
You
Nas
came up with the
Nomad.
name Nas Nomad.
Yeah, yeah, Nas
Where,
Nomad
where,
on
where did
number.
that come from? Was it just like a spot of inspiration, or is there a Nas?
Just my twisted imagination.
I like that even better. And of course, in the 1990, you did Big Beat presents Dave Vanny and the Phantom Chords, and that's with Dave Vanny and then Bryn Merrick and yourself, and um, that was more of an indie album. Listening to it, it was more indie music than it were rock or punk or any. Well, what's your thoughts on that?
Well, the Phantom Chords came about because Dave didn't want to work with Rat anymore.
Yeah,
So basically, Dave Anion split the Damned up, right? And he
right.
asked me and Bryn to go with him, which was a quandary for me because I thought, well, do I go with Dave or do I stick with Rat? Now, I did most of my writing with Dave, so
Yeah,
that seemed to be the obvious choice. Um, so, I mean, they had a deal with Polydor. We recorded an album in Wessex Studios where Machine Gun Etiquette was recorded. That album never came out. And I still have never had an explanation as to why. Um,
okay.
Subsequently, we did do in a smaller studio an album that came out on Big Beat. But you see, what happens is when you have a new project, you have an idea, and I want to do this. It's like you're starting again,
Yeah,
right? And so the gigs are smaller, less frequent, and so basically you're not earning any
yeah,
mahulas, you know. Um, and so Rat then cobbled this new dam together with Chris Dollimore Moose and such like, and Alan Shaw, sorry, who had all these songs. And they recorded all the backing tracks, and he talked Dave into going and sing on them. So the Damned had a new album, albeit with a completely different lineup. Um, Apart from Rat and Dave from the Phantasmagoria Anything era. And then, of
mm,
course, they could go out and they could promote that, which meant Dave would be earning money from that. And so
yeah,
the Phantom Chords were kind of just pushed to the side and gathering dust. And when you've got three kids and a mortgage, and what do? You can't wait forever. I mean, there was one point where I didn't hear from Dave Vane for 6 months.
right.
So what am I supposed to be doing for that 6 months? Yeah, just it, it and also I think the Fountain Course, as much as I liked what we were doing, it was a very difficult time because you had grunge coming up, and our young kids were getting interested in all that. And the Fountain
Yeah,
Course was these echoey guitars and all that. And even the Dam suffered because they were doing far smaller gigs then. So, but they could just about survive. The Fountain
yeah,
Chords kind of just
yeah.
gone.
Disappeared. Yeah. It's you went on to do your Papa Loco in 2014 with a wonderful Salvador Dali cover. The first song, I love the album. There's a lot of fantastic guitar in it. Revolutionary. It's one of my favourites. I just love it. I think it's a really good album. Have
Thank
you?
you.
No, no. Have you thought about doing more solo work or?
Yeah, absolutely. You see, up until the dreaded COVID came around,
Yes.
I really pushed music to one side, if you like. But since then, I've got far more involved in it. I mean, in August, I'm going to the studio up in Cambridge with Ricky Mimey from the Brian Jonestown Massacre. I'm just going to
Right.
see what's going to come out and stuff. Um, I'm producing stuff. Papa Loco, the album that you're talking about, came about because an acquaintance of mine said, "Oh, you must have some songs when you record them." I've got recording equipment in my bedroom at home, and I thought
Yeah.
I always heard about this thing about making music in your bedroom, and I'd never done it. Right, so I thought, well, that might be interesting, you know. Except I insisted on having real drums
Yeah.
on the tracks, which upset his mum a little bit. Because the drummer come in and set the drums up in his bedroom, and you got this, you know, din coming out of this little bungalow in a very built-up area, I might add.
Oh,
Um,
lovely. Neighbours
but
must have loved you.
yeah, but it was fun to do, and it was weird because when I'd done it, I kind of went, "Oh, I've done that now." And it was almost like I just pushed music again, you know, to the
Yeah.
side. Um, but with this band that I've got now, because it's a great band. I've got Pat McNamara on bass. He's in two other bands, No Good Woman, the King Snakes, and the Great Train Robbers. He's a great
Great
bass
name.
player. I've got Paul Bedford, who you know,
Yeah.
on the rhythm guitar. And then I've got a lovely couple, Dave and Fiona Dulake, who also go out as a duo called the Tuppenny Bunters. Check them out; they're really good. But he's a great drummer. She's a great keyboard player. But she's a great drummer, and he's a great keyboard player. So sometimes they'll be swapping over. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with that lineup, um, because Papa Loco, I played most of the stuff myself, right?
Yeah.
Um, and I, don't get me wrong, I think it's a good album, but you kind of lose sight when you're doing it all yourself, unless you're like a Prince who's an absolute genius, you know. Um,
Yeah.
so new stuff, if I could use this band, yeah, I think so, because then I can look at it from a distance a bit more, you know,
Yeah.
and and you get the input of these musicians, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. So great band. I mean, we got gigs coming up. Uh, we play Southend on the 30th, Leeds on the 31st, Birmingham on the 1st, and then Leicester on the 2nd. And then we do Rebellion the weekend
Okay.
after, which is
Yeah.
fantastic, you know, to get that gig. Um, but we play stuff from, well, predominantly Strawberries, because I was involved with that, Phantasmagoria, anything, and a couple of Papa Loco, right? Um, but I feel totally entitled to play a song like I Just Can't Be Happy Today, considering I must have played it a grillion times, you know, myself, either on keyboards or guitar. So there'll be a couple of those thrown in as well. So
Yeah.
it's a good set. It's well paced. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. So that hunger is still there, still burning. It's still wanting to get out on the road, wanting to play and produce new material.
The hunger is the love of music.
Yeah.
I still love music. I love listening to radio shows like even yours. You know, probably something on there that I think, oh wow, it's such a fantastic medium, um, and you don't need the visuals either. You know, you can go out and walk, and you just get lost in the radio
Yeah.
show and the music and whatever. So it's the hunger is the love of music. Whether it because I always loved either playing live, sitting on my own in a darkened room and strumming away, or working in a studio. It's
Yeah.
all been an absolute thrill and a luxury that so many people never experienced. So I've been very lucky, you know. I'm very lucky to, you know, to be able to get into the industry in any shape or form to any extent. You need to be very lucky and in the right team, you know, right place in the right time. Because
Yeah.
they were far more accomplished musicians out there who could have joined the band and probably taken them to a different level. But it's life. It's this crazy tapestry of life, you know.
Yeah.
I was
So
lucky. I was lucky.
I'm sure you've been asked a billion times, so we'll make it a billion and one, shall we? The dam is still going. If it come down to, hey guys, we want a reunion, would you want to do that? Or is it you've done now, you've done all that, I'm not bothered.
Well, we did when I was in the band, we did a 10th anniversary gig, and I asked Captain to come along, which he did.
Yeah.
Uh, they've done a 20th, a 30th, a 40th, and a 50th, and I haven't been asked. So
Oh,
I doubt if they'll do a 60th, but if
yeah.
they do a 60th, I'll probably go, nah, it's all right. You know, it's all right. So
Fair enough. Fair
it
enough.
doesn't matter. I feel no ill will to any members, despite a lot of things that went on for Water Under the Bridge. You know,
Yeah.
listen, I'll be playing the Opera House in Blackpool on August the 7th uh, with my band, and I'll be playing my songs.
Yeah.
Come along. If you don't enjoy it, you don't enjoy it. Come, but I'm sure you will. You know,
Yeah.
come along.
Yeah.
And
I'm sure the band will be excellent. That Roman Jugg, however, we're not sure about him.
yeah, I could have an off night. Yes. You obviously must
Well,
have seen us back in the day. Did you come on a bad night?
no, I'm pretty sure that it'll be an absolutely outstanding evening watching you perform. You've got such a history, and you've got such a future as well with what you've got with you, which is fantastic.
Well, the thing is, I mean, um, I play my songs as I thought they should have been recorded.
Yeah,
So it's instantly the song that you recognize, but you've got rid of all the crap, you know.
yeah,
Um, but it's like I said, it's great, you know, just being still involved in the music industry. I just produced a young band called the 44s, three young lads from Cornwall, and absolutely amazing musicians. No gimmicks, whatever, vintage instruments straight into their amplifiers. And they're young guys, and they just are really big fans of Mersey beats, right?
oh,
Not so much the Beatles, but Mersey
yeah,
beats. They
yeah,
all sing, and you know, they've got good, great harmonies, and they so all of a sudden something like that comes around the corner, and I think to myself, wow, you know, and then I get to produce them. Fantastic,
yeah,
you know,
excellent. Oh, that's
yeah.
brilliant. I like that, and obviously you can impart some of your experience onto them and give
Well,
them some words of wisdom.
thing about thing about experience with bands and producing bands, I think you've got to be a bit of a psychologist,
Yes,
um, and everything is their idea, even though it's your idea.
yeah,
You know, it kind of helps you get into the fold. You know, you're welcomed in as opposed to being, oh, that bloke, I don't like what he's doing, and you know, all
yeah,
that. So, but it's great
yeah.
fun, great fun.
Oh, that's excellent. At the end of interviews, I normally go on about what merch have you got or where can we get your music. I can't see you producing lots of Roman t-shirts. I don't think you've got a stack behind you, but I'm assuming we can purchase your music or download it.
Well, I've got a few hard copies of the CD. I've got
Yeah.
a local. And by the way, you mentioned the Salvador Dali cover.
Yes.
That was done by Ronnie Wood's brother-in-law,
Okay.
Mr. Paul Carslake, who actually succumbed to COVID.
Oh
But
dear.
he donated that to me. He said, you can use that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of hidden things in that if you really look at it. Um, but no, there will be t-shirts. There will be t-shirts, definitely. Yeah,
Oh, that'd be cool. And
yeah.
obviously, if I bump into you on the road and you've got a hard copy, I'll have to get it signed. It's a done thing.
Well, yes. I think I think I can still lift the old arm up to scrawl
So
something on
yeah,
something.
so somebody manoeuvring your arm across the paper.
That's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, people. If people come and see it, and Damned fans, I mean, don't expect the Damned because obviously it's not the Damned and it's not
Yeah,
Davey singing, but there's the songs most definitely, and there's a lot of energy.
yeah,
Believe it or not, it's a good set. Yeah, no,
excellent.
I don't think if they come and not judge it as being like a damn gig and just as a that period kind of thing, of oh right, I think they enjoy it. I think
I'm pretty
definitely.
sure they will. At the end of interviews, my beautiful lady Tracey, she gives me a question to ask, and it's tell us something about you that we don't know.
Tell you something about what?
Tell us something about you that we don't know. So tell us something about Roman Jug that we don't know.
I make the best beef goulash south of the Watford Gap.
South of the Watford Gaps. That's a bold claim.
There you go. I wouldn't. I wouldn't make it any further.
All right,
It's legendary.
legendary south of the Watford Gap.
Yeah, beef goulash.
Right,
Spot on.
excellent. And you also help your neighbours' walls from collapsing.
Well, believe it or not, I mean, this thing looks like a really bad bit of subsidence.
Yeah. Oh
So
dear.
yeah, it could be a bit of bother there, but anyway. But hold
Right.
on, we're all right here. Don't
Just don't play that keyboard too loud, just in case.
Oh, I tend to play things too loud now because I'm half deaf.
Yeah.
When you stand next to Paul Gray's bass rig for about 4 years or 3 years, however long it was. Yeah,
Yeah.
God, Mr.
I,
Thunder.
anyway, it's been an absolute genuine pleasure talking to you. It's been a
Yeah,
lot of laughs. Good luck with your tour and your band and your producing.
well, we keep on trying. Just keep on trying. It's been my
Yeah,
pleasure, Dale. Been great talking to you.
excellent.
Where can I get a shirt? Where can I get a shirt like that?
um, China.
Ah, that
Ah,
figures.
where everything comes from these days.
Yeah, I know.
I bought a pair of cowboy boots, genuine leather cowboy boots for my lady from America. And when it
Yeah,
come, it actually said inside it made in China.
unbelievable,
Cost me a
unbelievable.
bloody fortune as well.
What color were they?
They were tan with tassels.
Oh, nice, nice,
No,
cool.
she don't like them. They're still in bloody box.
Well, if you ever come and bring your lady along,
Yes.
I insist she wears the cowboy boots.
She will be wearing a pair of cowboy boots. She tends to wear 50s circle dresses with cowboy boots.
Oh, cool. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I wear loud shirts, a bit like yourself.
This is genuine Maui. My wife,
Oh,
my wife's from Los Angeles, and she went to Maui, and she brought back a load of proper. It doesn't say made in China.
yeah.
No, it probably says made in Chinatown.
I'm wearing something that it's genuine. That a bunch of 6-year-old kids that are being beaten made all nice for me. You know,
Wicked. I can see you
I,
got a wicked sense of humor.
I have no idea what you mean.
Is is it is there a Texas north of Beijing?
I think there might be, yes, and they all wear Stetsons, and
Oh God, what a vision!
I know.
Crazy.
But anyway, thank you very much, and hope to catch up with you soon because I'm pretty sure we'll have a good laugh.
Yeah, listen, definitely do. I'm sorry about that earlier on, but he was panicking a bit, and
Yeah,
his phone got damaged, so he wanted to call a freehold, I don't know, insurance company, whatever. And
yeah.
then I got Paul's message. You're supposed to be doing it before. I thought, oh shit. Hey. Anyway,
It's not.
all's
It's not a problem. It was worth the wait. So thank you.
all's well that ends well, eh?
Yeah, that's it. I'll see you
Yeah.
later.
No,